Record, recording. Hello there.
Hi.
How are you this morning?
Pretty good. Pretty good. It's been a pretty crazy week. Lots of stuff has happened. I had to put one of my dogs down yesterday because she was
Oh,
getting, yeah, it's okay. Naturally occurring stuff like that doesn't really, she's my fourth dog that I've had to put down. So, she lived a good life. And I had a couple friends show up and help me out. So, you know, it wasn't that bad. But so something happened last Wednesday. I think I had a breakthrough. I was taking my landlady into town on Wednesday for a trip to do some grocery shopping, and my helper was in the back seat. And I took her to town. She's all summer she's been very mean and cruel to me, and sending me hate texts. And so I brought her to town last Wednesday. Dropped her off at the grocery store. Everything was just fine. And when she came out of the grocery store and came back to the truck, she said, "Jen, I think you should leave my land." And
I think you said what?
leave my land. I think you need to move on and leave my land.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I said, actually, I handled it really well. I mean, it didn't throw me off at all, and I just started talking about the things that I'd done for her, and if that's what has to happen, then, I'm all right with it, but it's going to take a while for me to leave because I have a lot of, water tanks, yurts, et cetera, et cetera. And so, the drive home was like 45 minutes, and I spoke everything I needed to say, and I did it in a really calm way, and I could feel where it was coming from, a really solid place inside of me. And so when I got back, and she didn't, you know, she didn't have much to say, because she knew, I mean, I know she's not a mentally healthy woman, but her mental health issues are really coming to the fore for me. She's really projecting a lot of hate onto me. you
Mhm.
know I've been supportive of her for 7 years, and then she just turned on me. I mean, you knew that when the county notices went out. And that guy, by the way, isn't even around anymore. The weed
Oh,
season's over, so he's ignoring her completely. And I think her anger at that is being projected onto me. So yesterday morning, I'm going to bring my dog to the vet to bring her, for the last time. And this woman's sending me hate texts, "Get off my land, get off my land." And I just text her back, "Yeah, we already discussed this, Joy. Today I'm bringing my dog to the vet for the last time. I want to thank you for everything." And that was it. I just shut her up. So I really feel like, I did this meditation the other day, like how I feel about her prior to our work together. I felt she was like an authority figure who had a lot of control over my life. And I did a meditation the other day where I saw her for what she was, which was an old, very frail, vulnerable, weak, mentally ill woman. And I could feel the difference in my body from fear to just not fearing it. And so when we got back on Wednesday, and I dropped her off. I mean, her name is Joy, which is one of the most ironic names. Anyway, so when I dropped Joy off, I said to Cecilia, my helper, "So how did I do?" And she said, "A plus plus.
huh.
You were great. You said everything you needed to say. You said it in a calm way, and you articulated yourself very clearly. And I didn't get upset. I didn't give a shit anymore. I just feel like all this external shit that's just creates waves in my world. I feel like a much stronger sailor now. Like, I have such a strong faith in whatever happens that I can't. I have a path now. I have a trajectory, and I can't let this shit stop me from moving forward. And I really feel like I talked to my helper afterwards, and I said, "I think I've had a breakthrough. I really feel like I could feel that promised land inside of me. I could feel it. And I'm not saying like I'm totally there yet, but I could feel it. And I came from that place last Wednesday, and it felt really, really good. And, even yesterday morning, bringing my dog into the vet, I came from that place too. I went there, and I knew I had to be there to do what I needed to do. And so I also got asked out on a date last Friday night for the first time in years. Yeah, for the first time in years. The guy's name is the same name as the dog that I put down yesterday, which is Angel. And I really, you know, I don't have a lot of practice dating, so, but I really felt just so confident and so comfortable being me. And I knew it had a lot to do with the work we've done together. So I'm feeling a mixture of like, I'm really happy, but there's some sadness with it too. I don't know if it's, I'm so fucking happy I have to cry, or if there's still some residual sadness there, but I really feel like last week was a huge week and that there were breakthroughs. So,
So name me three things that you did right.
what's that?
Name three things that you did right with regards to that.
I stayed solid inside of me. I breathed. I spoke calmly and clearly and honestly, and I didn't have any fear about the consequences. Fuck it. Like, why would I keep myself quiet when people are throwing shit at me? I mean, it's already shitty. They're already doing shitty things. What do I have to lose by speaking up? And I did that really well, you know. I took a lot of self-care of myself last week. After that happened, I was like, I shut off my phone. I ignored her texts. Uh, you know, I took care of myself. And I mean, and I was just so grateful. I'm just so grateful. I don't have a lot of quality people in my, I mean, all I need is one or two people, and they were there for me yesterday. And you know, they've been there for me all summer. So I'm really grateful for them. And what I've done really well is sharing with them and reaching out when I need them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I've done that really well too. And I also know too, like, I'm not going anywhere. I've been here for 7 years. I put sweat into this land. I put money into this land. I've improved this land. I've supported this woman. Before my arrival, she had no phone, no social security, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not walking away without lawyering up first.
You know, you're reminding me of when, so I was engaged to be married to I don't know whether I told you of so what brought me to Israel was this inner guidance to move to Israel, settle in Galilee, where I'll found a special center that combines East-West computers. It'll be in a green place and blue, and the focus will be over the seas. And I had no clue. I didn't have words for that. Even like what took me from France to Israel, it was just an inner impulse. It was that I had no words to speak that. It took me about 10 years to be able to enunciate that vision in words. And then I was living in the center of the country. Galilee is in the north. And I met Svika, and he asked me to come live with him. I mean, it was just a beautiful relationship. And I went to live with him on the kibbutz, like the last place on earth I ever wanted to live. But it felt really right to be with him. And he was a new widow. So I moved to Shvaim, to the kibbutz, and I'm like in a hornet's nest, you know, because I'm the new woman coming in. You know, everybody's shit slung at me. But I remember saying that, but I'll learn how to love. You know, my father died. Oh, this will be a great exercise for me. Well, it was a great exercise, and it was just wonderful being there. And then as time went on, my doubts started coming. It's like, but what about this vision? Is it like, am I full of shit? Is this something that I'm using to avoid being more intimate?
Mm-hmm.
This nature reserve next to the kibbutz that overlooked the Mediterranean. And one day I go there to meditate. And all of a sudden I open my eyes and it's green where I see blue. And I'm like, holy moly. Maybe the lesson is you have to give up your vision in order to live your dream. You have to give up your vision.
Say that again. Say that again.
Or maybe like, because this vision, I had no words for all of this. And I didn't know.
I know what that's like.
He had been born in Galilee and had no intention of going back there. Like Galilee is this gorgeous place, but there's like no commerce. It's where people, they'll either go to vacation or, retire because nobody, like how are you going to make a living? That's the mindset. So it's like, nah, he didn't want to go there. And so if I wanted to be with this man, it meant giving up that thing, whatever that thing was. And I didn't know whether that thing was real inside of me or, do I put my money where my mouth is or how the relationship, it was kind of felt like an either or. And so I said, all right, you know what, God, I'm willing to, I see green and blue. So maybe my vision, maybe it's just, I'm not seeing it right. So I'm willing to give it up because I love this man and there's green and blue. And if it means that I live in a kibbutz, so be it. It'll be okay. And that was the week we were going to set up the date for their wedding. I come home and the man says to me, our lessons in life are over. I want you to move out. Just like that. The man shut off totally. And I'm like, fucking,
what the fuck?
What? Except like immediately afterwards, it's like, sweetheart, no, it's not that you give up the vision. It's like you didn't make the right decision. It was so painful. And, he wanted me to like leave. He said, and, like leave tomorrow or something like leave.
Shit.
And it took every ounce of courage I had to say, first of all, it's like it took me off my balance because like the day before we were setting our wedding. So it's like, what?
Yeah.
I didn't believe it at the beginning, and I thought, oh, well, I don't know. He's just having a bad day or something's getting stirred up because we did the unveiling of his wife. But no, it's like he just hermetically shut off. And, I eventually said, I risked everything to move here. I gave everything up. I said, I'm not from here. I said, and this is, your home. I said, so I'll leave, but I'm not going to, I'm going to take my time and find what's right for me. I don't know what's right for me, but I'll leave when I know what that is. And until that time. So for like 3-4 months, I moved into another room, upstairs. So we kind of lived like roommates. It was like, oh my God, it was the bizarrest time. But through that time was very important for me for showing up, and showing up for myself,
Mm-hmm.
through a lot of pain, but really showing up for myself. And what it gave me was the courage to really take myself seriously, to take that vision seriously.
Yeah.
After the first talk, I knew spiritually, it's like, it's not about this. It's like, that's what I knew spiritually, but then there's like the physical living of life, that things have to, I'm like, all right, God, okay, we'll go through this. It's like, all right, so how do I get to Galilee? And I was scared. I had no clue. And, like this whole thing, well, where's the money going to come from? Because it's like Galilee. And I went back to where I lived before, in the same area I was looking. I didn't find anything. And during that time, it's like my teaching and the business was kind of like in the place where you're at now. It's kind of, there was like a formation of something, but I had no clue what it was or how. Where's the money going to come from in it? And so then when I was looking for places to live, how much could I afford? And there were places that just felt like shit, just like places. My heart wasn't in it. And then one day when I'm like all in tears, I called this woman who I had met, this family, when I first came to Israel. like maybe that first month or so, I went to Galilee going, what is this Galilee thing? And there was there was this alternative health fair. This guy gave me a massage, and I, you know, I'm going to end up in Galilee. And he goes, oh, well, you should come to Amirim. I didn't know what that was. It's this vegetarian health village. That's where Michal lives. That's where the yurts are. And you know, all right. So I went and I visited them another time. And like that family became kind of like friends. So one day I call Aviva, I go, of whatever I was going through. I go, do you know green blue, blue? Somehow I got those words out. And she goes, well, actually I do. She goes, and I suggest you get up here like really fast because it's not going to last. And so like I just dropped everything, traveled up to Galilee, and she takes me to meet Ali, my landlady, who was, and this place, it's the place that I had seen in my vision in France that got me to leave France and move to Israel. Only it took 12 years till that point. And had Zvika not gone, I never would have gotten to Amirim. And the place was, Dorka had to die. She was one of the leaders of the village. And she died, and she left the house to her granddaughter, but the granddaughter was too young. So they decided they'd rent it out for 5 years. But Alit, the daughter, the landlady, insisted on taking care of the gardens. They were like dunams, acreage. So nobody wanted it because she was like a real controller. Maybe she was like she had like a bitch on wheel, this lady. But I'm like, free gardener? God, I'm in. Yes. So I rented it for 5 years, and I said, all right, so I've arrived, you know, and I'm going to buy this place. I have no friggin' idea how, but if I'm not meant to be here, if they don't want to sell in the end, well, then there's just a better place. And so that's where I established the center. And because of all of that striking, oh my God, that was like the most financially prosperous time I had in Israel. It's vegetarian health village. People just came in, and that's when I gave my first, that's when I met Molly then, you know, I gave my first classes online, because then there was like online, and I just jumped in. I had, you know, nobody knew what that was. I go, no, this is great, yes. And just did it. And it was fabulous.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then in the end, you know, 5 years later, now they, you know, then there were different trajectories, and now the girl wanted the house, and, you know, I ended up in Tivon. I mean, you know, there are like so many stories, but it's like, you never know.
No, you never know where things bring you. And I look back on things that have happened in the past that have seemed so shitty to me, but they brought me to some really amazing places.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, it's about valuing myself too. There's no fucking way I'm walking away from what I've done here after 7 years of supporting her.
Yeah.
I've got rights. And you know, the thing is that, so when I was 18, you know, I was living with my dad. My parents were divorced, and my dad had a new girlfriend, and she didn't like me being around. So one night I got home from hanging out with a friend of mine, like 10 o'clock at night, and his girlfriend convinced him to kick me out. So he came to my bedroom door and he told me, you've got 10 seconds to pack up and leave. It was 10 o'clock at night. I was 18 years old. I think I had like 20 bucks on me. That was it. So that was very traumatic, even though my perspective on it now is it's more like a bird pushing its little offspring out of the nest. You know, it really gave me some really strong survival skills, but it also really traumatized me too. And I really feel like my experience with her was a replay of that trauma. Someone having authority over my living space, someone having authority, or me seeing somebody as having authority over my living space, over that root chakra, survival, shelter. I mean, something so primal, you know? And that's why it was triggering me into this like huge trauma state where I just wanted to run this summer, run. And so me the other day, Wednesday in the truck, was me being pushed past a point where I just didn't give a fuck anymore. Like, no way. I'm not putting up with this shit from you. And I said this, I just simply don't deserve this from you. You can throw all the hate you want at me, but it's not going to affect my day. It's not going to affect how I feel about me. It's not going to affect how I feel about how I've given back to you over 7 years. You know,
Yeah.
and I've spoken to people in the community who've known her for a really long time, and they said, oh no, this is what she does. She's a mentally ill woman. We've all known that. Nobody warned me, you know, but she's got some very severe mental health issues, and she's done this. She targets people and just unleashes a torrent of hate on them. And so I really feel like what I've done with you has enabled me to stand really in the middle of a shitstorm where there's shit coming at me, and I'm just kind of like Wonder Woman with the bracelets, just like choo, choo, choo. And I mean, as far as the business thing goes, I feel so much stronger about that too. My path feels so, I feel like crying saying it because I've come so far with you. And I wanted to acknowledge that, you know, I know I was obstinate and difficult to deal with and off-putting and closed and in resistance so many times with you. And I appreciate you not giving up on me and dealing with all that. I mean, I don't like being around me when I'm feeling that way, but you didn't give up, and I want to tell you how much it means to me, you know. But yeah, I feel really solid. I mean, I feel emotional, and I'm just letting it out because I think that what it is just years and years of not letting it out, years and years of being afraid, you know, and how I've done a 180, and I feel really, it's a calm solid. It's not like a fiery solid. It's just a calm, cool solid inside of me. Like there's a piece of the earth that's like inside of me, and nobody's going to fuck with it unless I let them, you know, which I'm not going to. Like it's just, yeah, last week, big breakthroughs last week. But there's something I wanted to ask you. There's something I've been very curious about. Like, I mean, what makes you think that I'm coaching material? Do you really think I could coach other people?
Absolutely.
I know that there's a lot more work to do, you know. I'm just so grateful. I was so excited to have this call today and tell you like everything that's happened since we last talked. I talked, you know, Wednesday with Joy, and then the date on Friday night, and my dog yesterday, and I feel fucking great. So the work, you know, I think last week I said that the work that we did was at an 8. Now I'd put it up at a 9.5, 10. Like it's been a 180 in the at the 11th hour. You know, I'm like, it's been great. But I have faith, you know, I have a lot of faith. Whatever happens, I'm going to stand up for myself and be solid and speak my truth. And whatever happens, happens. I have such faith, you know. Who knows? I'm so excited to send you an email like 6 months from now and let you know where I'm at a year from now, you know. Who knows? I'm excited, you know. I mean, shit could hit the fan, and I know this is not going to happen to bring me to a bad place, you know. I just know it.
Oh, it's so wonderful to see you smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this breakthrough that you've had, you know, there's a, and I don't have to take it anymore. I'm allowed to have so much more.
Yeah.
And look how the universe is already bringing you in more. And I really want to acknowledge you for having, you know, the willingness to invest in yourself, to believe in yourself, and your willingness to receive support, as painful as that is, because it's
Vulnerable.
a very vulnerable place to be. And I have the sense now that you made this breakthrough that, and I really appreciate what you're saying right now about your dad. That explains to me the running away when things are, just when they're getting good, of running away.
Yeah.
After what you went through this last week, I have the sense you don't need to do that anymore.
No, no. And I look back on where I was when we did this discovery talk, and it has been a 180. I've got a yurt now. I've got a beautiful helper. I can go away. I have one less dog now. I have a little more freedom. I have beautiful people in my life who are supportive. It doesn't mean they tell me what to do, but they listen to me, and then they tell, they share with me what they honestly see, and they believe in me. And it's almost like the inner male inside of me has joined with the inner female, and they're like, I just feel solid, really solid. And I do deserve it. I do absolutely deserve it. I've worked so hard. I do deserve. And I feel so excited. I know there's a lot of work to be done, but I'm excited about where this is going to take me. And yeah, and for this young woman who's hanging out with me, this is her first place living on her own, and she just feels that she's learned so much just seeing me go through this process this summer. So it's still like when you say you had this vision, this dream, and you didn't know how to articulate it, oh, that's such a relief for me, because I can feel it too. I've got this vision, I've got this dream. I can't articulate it. It's very, very difficult for me to describe what I feel, what I see. And it's not just what I see, it's what I feel. It's like knowing the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. You just know that. And I did do a big, huge 180 this week, and I feel very protected and very safe in myself, inside. It's a totally different feeling than where I was at last year at this time. I have freedom. I can go away. I'm going to go to New York City for the first time at the beginning of February for a week.
Oh.
For a like a women's gathering.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
No, we have to. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting.
No. I mean, I don't know. It's still all really fresh, and I'm still feeling really emotional because it's been a big week. Like it hasn't even been a week since last Wednesday and the confrontation or the discussion with Joy. So, and then the date, and then my dog. I mean, it's been a big week, right? So I'm still really emotional. I'm still like kind of stumbling a little bit over my words and articulating how I feel, but so you're not really interrupting.
Yeah, I have a gift for you. I'm going to share the screen. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, I'm going to share the screen. Oops, can you see? Oops.
Oh.
Hold on. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
All right, hold on. Where are you? Here. Two things. Here are the three things that you sent. Why don't you go ahead and just read through them? Can you see it?
Yeah.
All right, so read them out loud.
Okay, so Jen's three things. Do you want me to read all of this? It's a long, long list.
Yeah.
3 things I'm grateful for: the land I live on, the great helper who's come my way, my dogs are sweet and listen well. 3 things I did well today: I repitched the teepee quickly and in a beautiful spot, turned over soil, expressed some feelings I have about a particular issue, Received huge, genuine support and understanding. 3 things I appreciate about myself: my physical health and my physical strength and health, the ability to breathe deep and know when I need it. I care about the people in my life. 3 things I'm grateful for: coffee, chocolate, fresh air. 3 things I did well today: I got everything that I needed on my list today in town. I measured and cut the circle on the yurt platform floor to the exact measurement. When the cut revealed some mistakes, I laughed and kept moving forward. 3 things I appreciate about myself: my sense of humor, my mantra, keep moving forward, my faith. 3 things I'm grateful for: water, the sound of my helper's laugh, the 10 pounds of goat feta cheese that my neighbor brought me today. 3 things I did well today: I slept in just a little bit, kept moving forward in the garden, many veggies to come, managed my time well. 3 things I appreciate about myself: my tenacity, the sound of my laughter, I believe in goodness and love. 3 things I'm grateful for: dentistry, being able to afford a dentist, having a reliable vehicle. 3 things I did well today: I managed time well, got everything done on my to-do list, rested. 3 things I appreciate about myself: healthy body, responsible, I know how to have fun while working. 3 things I'm grateful for: sunshine, my cob cave, books. 3 things I did well today: made it to all my appointments today on time, wrote a letter to a friend, I smiled a lot. 3 things I appreciate about me: I can come up with a big project and break it down into tiny steps. I do a little bit each day to get to the big picture. I come from a family of strong, creative, and kind women. 3 things I'm helpful for: I miss my helper, Brian. I found piles of free bark mulch for my garden. Joy is thrilled with the vision I have for the land she is inheriting to me and the work she sees me doing. 3 things I did well today: got up early, got everything done, made it to our session time, even if I did literally run and make it. I got a lot of free mulch, danced while working in the garden. 3 things I appreciate about me: I committed to this even though it scared the crap out of me. I never feel alone unless I'm in bad company. Challenges don't make me quit, I get stronger. 3 things I'm grateful for: all the shit I've been through makes shit now easier to deal with. Rain, strawberries, and whipped cream. 3 things I did well today: took the entire day off to feel, felt sad, let it out, self-care. 3 things I appreciate about me: my mind is focused on big picture, creative thoughts. I don't like gossip, either hearing it or speaking it. I love nature. 3 things I'm grateful for: tools, having a space to grow food, silence while working. 3 things I did well today: added water line and a second tap to the garden, kept focused on my thoughts, directing my thoughts towards either my breath or positive thoughts. 3 things I appreciate about myself: I get jobs done, I'm organized, I meet each daily goal. 3 things I'm grateful for: interesting, stimulating conversation, seeing joy, happy, seeds that grow. 3 things I did well today: drove in reverse down a long winding dirt road, fixed a water issue, drank a lot of water. 3 things I appreciate about me: I'm comfortable saying no, I know what my needs are, I know what needs to get done. 3 things I'm grateful for: my pen pal, early mornings watching the sunrise, soaking in hot water. 3 things I appreciate about myself: I make lists, I get things on the list done, I move forward. 3 things I'm grateful for: I hurt someone I care about yesterday, I'm grateful I can see it, feel it, and know how to make amends. My neighbor who lends me tools when one of mine breaks. My neighbor who will water my garden while I bring Joy to town for a doctor's appointment. 3 things I did well today: caught myself thinking repetitive negative thoughts, turned it right around all day long, balanced work with rest. I asked for help when I needed it. 3 things I appreciate about me: I focus 100% on the task at hand. I know it lets magic and guidance come in. I rarely feel lonely when I'm alone. The wisdom I've earned from what looked like shit at the time and how it helps others becomes stronger and feel better. 3 things I did well today: I remembered all the tools I needed to get tasks done. I kept on top of the garden work, and I took time to meditate and breathe.
How does that feel to read that?
Like I have so much. I have so much to fall back on. I have so much to bring out into the world. I have so much to share with people who have problems to solve because I've been there.
Okay, so read through this. This is your transformation report. Just read through it. This is what you wrote at the beginning.
What has been my biggest takeaway so far since saying yes is my energy level has gone up a few notches. I feel excited and expanded, open to support that has already come my way. My biggest challenge is today removing a pound lighter in order to make it bigger, drinking enough water, taking time at the end of the day to write in my journal, spending time in my studio creating. I would most like to be supported by, I need clarity with how to get out there and expose myself and my creations in the world via the internet. I'm not tech savvy at this point. That seems so insignificant at this point, but what subject should you reignite your dream? I feel challenged when I'm called to step out into the world. I'm more of an introvert, whether it's for a social event or selling my wares. I need encouragement with that. And the biggest challenge is sitting in front of the computer and doing the work with creating a website. I feel like I'm a pretty brave person. I wouldn't be where I am today if I wasn't, but it's time to share my land with others and to make income from the things I create. I also want to write a book with the intention of inspiring other women to follow their gut, to have faith. I believe my story could help others to believe in staying true to themselves. Many times I've been told by women that I should write a book, and I feel it too, but I don't know where to start. I do know where to start now. I think with everything I'm envisioning, all I need is a nudge and a specific direction of what to work on next to achieve the big picture one step at a time. The yurt is completely up. I'm feeling grounded. Communication was a big
These are from your words, from your forms.
The yurt is completely up. I'm feeling grounded. Communication was a big, uncomfortable deal for me while you were gone, and I realized that speaking up is something that puts a little fear in me, even though I do it anyways. I had a breakthrough in understanding my issue with being listened to, heard. It's freed up a lot of physical and creative energy. I have more clarity about my recent issues with communication and being heard, listened to. I have more energy again. I'm feeling good. Connected to the source spot more frequently and easily, which is what I did Wednesday, Friday, and yesterday. This week was a shitstorm, and I stayed steady in the midst of it, regardless of what was going on externally. I was very happy to feel empowered and grounded during everything that happened. I feel strong, resilient, positive. I want to get my goddess candle holder out there in the world, start with that one thing. The source spot is very helpful to me right now. I'm temporarily letting go of building things with God in the studio. It's a strong gut feeling to do this. I celebrate staying steady and calm and connected to the source spot during the last week, which is full of challenges. I also celebrate letting go of the larger vision project of a retreat space and getting into the studio to begin creating the vision of making a living from my creativity. The source spot connecting is absolutely a lifesaver. It's getting easier to go there, especially when challenged. Single biggest thing that's actually like the source spot. Not as afraid of conflict, speaking up, and this feels so good. Connecting with my inner 6-year-old girl was a game changer. I'm eager to begin engaging in more practical steps to create business. That everything I'm experiencing is part of the process. It helps me feel more ease with everything. I'm excited to start doing the chakra toning. I feel like it's going to be really helpful and valuable in helping me to move forward. Feeling strong, solid, clarity, confident, lots of energy, and safe. Me and my 6-year-old have connected. It's been a huge step forward. Connecting with my 6-year-old girl and journaling dialogue with her has been amazing. The following day, I was confronted again with something that would have triggered me, yet I was able to face it with calm, confidence, and connecting to the girl within and the source spot. I feel so much better, so different, so much stronger, and it all starts from the inside. Everything that happened, which triggered me, was perfect for me to gain insight and grow. Website, I want to create a website, greater clarity and understanding of my limited beliefs towards self-love and respect, money, and business. Molly's book is a great tool for doing personal work. A little bit more clarity, still feeling somewhat in the dark, but moving forward, energized and hopeful. Believe it or not, no challenges these days. I've had a few aha self-realization moments where I get that I've been standing in my own way. Connecting with the source spot so easily this past week when things felt tense and threatening. Ordered the packaging for the clay goddess tea candle holder, got a clearer understanding of art being the means to selling a solution to a problem. Stronger, more clear, energized, eager to continue moving forward, feeling that promised land within more than ever before. Keep on cutting the fat, remaining focused on my goals and journey regardless of what gets thrown my way. I have down days where I feel tired and less hopeful, but these periods last much shorter for the most part. I'm feeling good and focused and clear. I have a much clearer understanding of the problem solving offering my business. I have a much clearer understanding of the problem solving offering my business will be based on. I'm moving forward with packaging, presenting my goddess and who my clients will be. Every day I wake up stoked about the next steps to take and meet challenges with confidence, energy, and solidity. Empowered, excited, jazzed. Every day progressing, so much energy and passion for the path I'm on, even if the complete clarity isn't there yet. Whew.
Whoops. So, how's that?
Pretty amazing stuff, I think. I mean, I feel like so much more confident about going out into the world and being me, and it doesn't matter, like it just doesn't matter. Like, I know me, I love me, I don't give a shit what anybody else says. You know, I can just take all this stuff, like I said, all this stuff can be thrown at me, like monkeys in the zoo can throw lots of shit at me, and it deflects, you know.
What do you see? Where are you going? What's next?
Well, I've started working on my book. I know I'm writing a memoir about my experiences here in the past 15 years. I know that has a lot of value. I mean, it's just, and the whole thing of my it's definitely based on the hero's journey. You know, it came out to California from Canada, wanting to own land, and instead I found the inner land, you know, and how like that is just the ultimate piece of land you could possibly occupy and own. And so I've already started writing my book, the memoir, and you know, that's a very, I've got a formula for writing it, and I'm moving forward on that. um I've been selling the goddess burners, you know. I know, like, I still haven't quite nailed, I think, like, so far the problem that solves for women, even though it seems small, is representation, you know. Like, women really love my goddess burners, and I think, you know, just the feminine energy, feminine rising, women are starting to become more empowered and feeling comfortable with being feminine. I think when they see my goddesses, something inside of them just opens up, you know, like, yeah, that's representing me, that's representing the goddess inside of me. And I know I still have to go somewhere with my art object, but I do believe on a very basic sort of intuitive level, women are gravitating towards the goddesses that I make. So I've been selling those have been starting to sell, you know. um I'm I've actually just forgotten what the question was, but the direction I'm going in, I still have a vision for the land. I still have faith in that, but I feel very comfortable about putting that on the back burner. Um, I'm I was wanted to ask you that question about coaching because I have signed up for a few Udemy courses on how to be an effective online coach, and I do want to take that. I do want to use my wisdom to help other people because I just get off on that so much. Like, to see the struggles that I've been to have value to somebody else and help them ease their struggles is just like so fucking meaningful to me. It is so, like, it's like the one of the best feelings in the world. It's like being a rock star. It's like being validated. It's like being valuable, deserving, loved, connected. When I share, and I've had a chance to do that with my helper, you know, she went through a few things this summer too, and I was able to help her just with some past experiences that I went through. And I was just like so grateful for all the shit that brought me that wisdom, because I was like, yeah, it has value to somebody else too. And it had such deep core meaning to me that I was like, oh yeah, this is it fills me. You know, it's my offering, it's my gift. My wounds are my gift.
They sure are.
And
What would, what would stop you up from, like, what needs to get out of the way? What would stop you
from what?
from following through, from like, that's where you're wanting to go? What's the underbelly?
What would stop me from going to where I want to go?
What don't you know yet? Where's the vulnerability?
I think what would stop me from getting to where I want to go is if I let my self-care slip.
If you let what?
My self-care. If I
Oh,
let my self-care slip, if I drop the ball on myself. I mean, I know showing up for myself was a big thing this summer too, a big thing that, I mean, it was reflected in the challenges I had with the generator and just not showing up on a few occasions with you. And I think I think that would stop me from continuing moving forward, is to drop the ball on my self-care, because the self-care is really important for me to ground in my body and my awareness and in my actions how important it is to make me number one. And I still have a bit of fear about external circumstances affecting my path, but not quite as much as I did before. I mean, of course, it's very threatening to hear the women that I've been still, I mean, I've done nothing to her, so it's very, very threatening to hear her say, "I want you to get off my land." Um, what would stop me? Just me. I mean, me being small and scared would stop me.
mhm.
You know. I mean, I don't just connect with the 6-year-old in me now. I also connect with the 16-year-old in me too. Because I know she needs to be heard. That was when a lot of a lot of wounding occurred. A lot of devaluing, a lot of what I felt was devaluing, of who I am, and the beginning of me playing small. So I think,
So what support are you needing there?
what support am I needing there?
Mhm. Yeah, to follow through to this next level and um, not having your self-care slips and taking care of that 16-year-old and the 6-year-old and then what support would be helpful to you there?
I think I've got a really good solid team of people, small group of people who are really solid quality people. And I think I forget sometimes my brilliance and my value, and I slip back into that feeling small mode. And if I just remember to share that with one of my team members, I think they'll remind me of the gold that I've got, and how brilliant I am, because they do that anyway. And when I forget or feel small or feel scared, they're the ones who remind me of what I am, what I am inside, um, beyond the wounding, beyond feeling small. They remind me. And oftentimes they ask me, so what do I need? Like my helper will come up and she'll make dinner. Do you need? I'll make dinner tonight. I'll make soup tonight. Like, what do you need? Do you need help bringing up firewood? Just simple things like that. Simple little actions of caring, really. Because I think, to me, that's what's come up for me, is I think that's one of the most disturbing things about this world. And one of the most disturbing things that I've experienced in life is just feeling that people don't give a shit, that people don't care. And so when I get people showing that they care, I feel shored up again, I feel strong again. I feel not alone. I don't feel disconnected, and I've never accomplished anything all on my own anyway. So reaching out to my team members when I'm feeling small, which is something I'm becoming much, much more comfortable with, because it heals my, in the past, prior to having this team of people, I would feel small and it would last for days. Now, when I feel small, I talk with one of my team supports and it lasts less than an hour. And then I'm back on the horse again, you know? So sharing, being willing to be vulnerable. And I mean, I think I've got the honesty down, you know, I'm a really shitty liar. I already find like I have enough to keep track of in reality as it is without keeping track of lies. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks about me anyway, so why would I lie? But, you know, but the truth is I have also lied to myself. That's the person I've lied to the most was me, you know? I think that's probably the source of a lot of my tears is I'm realizing how for years I thought, oh, I'm staying true to myself. But, you know, I was true to myself if it was playing small. If it was playing big and being true to myself, I shirked from it, you know? So now I'm like, being true to myself also means playing big and pushing myself past that comfort zone.
Well, you've really shown yourself that too, haven't you? How, you know, you've invested in your worth, you've invested in your power, you've put your time and your energy and your money where your mouth is to say, I'm valuable. What I know is valuable. My experience is valuable, and I am powerful. And I'm going out of that place of being alone in my power, and I'm daring to be vulnerable with somebody else, you know, me. I'm daring to ask for help, and I'm daring to receive it because I know my worth. That's huge. It's so vulnerable, but that vulnerability is the power. I'm pushing the envelope. I'm willing to go beyond. I'm willing to have because I am worth it.
Yeah, and you know, like, so it's I felt like I got burned a little bit a few times this summer by speaking up, but like I said earlier, shit's gonna happen if I don't either. I feel much more comfortable with speaking up. Obviously, like last Wednesday, if I was coming from a place of fear, there probably would have been a lot more emotional content in what I had to say, but I was just coming from such a solid, self-loving, self-respecting place where it was just delivered and articulated in a beautiful, calm way. And that was a vulnerability, but it was based on like self-love, self-respect, no fear. And when I did that, you know, my helper, when we talked about it afterwards, I could see how much it ignited her fire too. Like, wow, if you could do that, I could do that too. You know, it was kind of like she could, it inspired her, you know, and I was just like, this is what it takes, is being vulnerable and being brave, and we affect each other and ignite each other, and we become this huge network of like connected, strong, supportive women. And I really feel like, you know, a lot of the work I've done on the homestead has been typically masculine work, and I've been really craving feminine the past couple of years, wearing dresses, just getting more into the feminine. And I really feel now I have such a solid, beautiful balance between my inner masculine and my feminine, especially the feminine after the work we've done, where it's just like, I don't even know what gender I am. All I know is I'm valued, I am valuable, I have gifts from the wounds that I've transformed. It's so possible. I have so much to share. I'm so excited about sharing it. I don't have, again, like with you in the vision, I have a feeling, I have a knowing. I can't really articulate it, but it doesn't matter because I'm trusting the process, because I trust me, I love me, I respect me, and I know I don't walk alone. Like, I'm just so connected to this. I mean, I've always been the kind of person who felt like this higher power in life, but now I'm like, I know it. And it's so weird. You know, I do believe in synchronicity. Now whenever I look at see what time it is, it's always like 10:10, 2:22, like 12:12, like I'm getting all these like affirmative signs around me that it's like, I really feel like all my guardian angels, including my new team member, which is my dog, who's my new spiritual team member, are all just like so happy, so happy. Like, oh, she's she did the work. Like, look at where she is now. What's going to happen next? And I'm excited too. I really don't feel alone anymore. I really feel connected, and that's made a huge, huge difference because I've connected with me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was just so, like, one of the things I said to my helper Cecilia is, I can't wait for my last call with Eliana to tell her all this, because I know I've been hard. I know it's been difficult. I've been shut down and resistant. And what a beautiful thing that this is. It's happened in the 11th hour. And I can tell her on our last session that all the work we've done together has been like huge.
I'm just so thrilled, really so thrilled for you, and so happy and really honored to have the opportunity to work with you and to watch it grow. And I wouldn't have offered you after you ran to continue if I didn't know your power. And if I didn't trust that you were showing up for yourself in the best way that you know how to do. And there was a moment for me where I really had to decide what to do. And I made a very conscious choice. I thought, am I like fucking myself? Am I people pleasing? Am I being codependent by doing this? Because I want I want to be able to say, that it was successful, because my ego is in me, that people are happy with what they got, they invest their time, they invest their money, it's a big risk. And the response was, no, that is absolutely not it. It's that I'm choosing to do it because, I maybe that's, maybe I'll find out I was an idiot. But I'm doing it because nobody was there to give me the benefit of the doubt when I ran away. Nobody was there for me when I just run away. Taking care of myself, because that was the only way that I learned how to do. And that has been a big gift for me. And it's like, it brings me to tears to hear you. It's so, so beautiful. I don't sense that. I know that this is the end of a perek. It's the end of a cycle, and it's the beginning of a next cycle. And I'm here for you. And if you are there, you mentioned wanting to go to Israel. Well, there are two things. Because you've been in the 6-month program, in your contract, it's written that if you want to continue their preferential rates, which are not the rates of the program, if you break up your program into a monthly, it's $1,500 a month. It comes to roughly $1,500 a month. And so there is a preferential rate of $1,297 a month that you don't have to make a commitment. You can just go.
Okay, go a month at a time and
go a month at a time, and you can quit anytime. You can run away anytime. But what generally happens is that people don't. But now, we happen to be in December, that I have because I'm preparing for the next retreat, and I myself am going through a real period of expansion myself. And I decided that in December I'm having, it's like my holiday. What's my holiday gift giving? How can I expand? By helping others to expand, how do I expand? So what I'm doing for the month of December is that for just for current clients, that instead of the $12.97, it's $9.97 a month. And then, yeah, no, it's significant. And then what comes up for me with regards to Jen, and I'm not offering this to anybody else, so please don't share it with anybody, because you said you want to go to Israel. What came up for me is, if you are ready to commit to that, and if you make your deposit this month, I'm going to gift you an additional 2 months of coaching.
Wow.
And what that means monetarily is that the deposit will be $1,500. So you, in essence, are getting more than, and I didn't know why, the thing, I think you know by now, I don't do things from my head. But when you're sharing now, and you said about the coaching, is that what I would see, what we could do with that is that I think that the appropriate and really valuable thing to do during that time is to use it for you can put a package together now with the goddess, and that this can be informing your writing a book. It's like, and that's how they work together business-wise, so that you can be generating income while you're writing your book. And then it becomes part of your program that people are going to come to you, to get help. And then your art has a value, like you say, it's, you come to Homestead, but your homestead's your homestead is inside of you.
Yeah.
And it could be parts, with the 60-year-old and the 16-year-old. It's like you continue your healing, but you just need to be a few steps ahead of who your clients are. And what excites me about the other reason is that, because in Israel, it's a retreat, it's not a tour. And I'm getting goosebumps right now. You got like download stuff when you are at that painted house. I don't know what the thing is, but there's like, you're connected to that thing.
That's that spot, just even when I think about it, and I'm just get like goosebumps.
I believe that the reason why I ended up going there, is like why my neighbor told me about that place, is because of you. I don't know. I've just been there once. I mean, that place transported me. But it's like, I get it, but I didn't get about the art. But it's something to do with what you're to teach.
Yeah, I felt something too, but that video, I don't know, there was just something about it that really.
Well, it's the place. It takes you out of space and time. The way that art is. It's like that woman was plugged in.
Oh yeah.
It took her all of those years, from Yemen to Israel, to all of those years being married and raising the family and not being able to express her art at all, till her husband died. At 82, she began at 82.
Mm-hmm.
Heaven's sake, and no, she had no formal education. And she just became this, it just came through her. And it's this little tenement apartment. It's like no more than, that whole thing is no more than, I don't know, maybe 700 square feet at most. But it's like three-dimensional. The art, it's in the toilet, it's in the kitchen, it's on the ceilings. And you go in there and you're like in this palace. It's another dimension, and the art is what takes you there. That place is an expression of what art what art is meant to do. And I have a sense that your figurines are connected with that. You know, there are those dolls in there. And maybe it's something to do with those dolls in your figurines. But your art is a means of your teaching. And where I am at now I think this is the other reason it's coming up and I'm offering this, is that where I have gotten to now is that I have added on a 5-day extension to that retreat in order to credential other people to teach what Voices of Eden is. That came about from another client of mine who, I don't know, whatever her process was, that was the clincher for her. Okay, so it's time, and I've made the commitment. I'm so excited. And so now I'm in a place of teaching this art and it's like I'm expanding into a whole new level after 25, 30 years of, I've taught this, but I'm at a point of leaving my legacy and expanding, building my business so that if I drop tomorrow, if I leave my body tomorrow, that other people will be able to carry this on and, in their own way, that
it gets carried on.
It gets carried on. It's not dependent upon me, but it's the part about the art. It's about the art and the feminine leadership, because all of these years, it's been either, first it was the sound and the music, because that was the easier part. What the fuck is feminine leadership? And what? And the book, 25 years it's taken. But suddenly, over the past few months, they've come together. Since I went to that medical conference, I think was a trigger. It's coming together so that through those who were the group that's on this next retreat, it's another ignition, and I believe that we're in that art place is another ignition for you to be taking this on in your direction. And what we're going to be doing in the retreat, the women who are there, we're, the first phase of it is like how we work now. It's the connection phase of connecting to the source of your voice. And that first section, we're going to be in a Jerusalem monastery with these sisters. It's a very unusual place. And that Saturday night, we're having a music meditation. Everybody's going to get a drum as a bonus. And we're having a music meditation where all of our voices are going to be heard, and that's going to be open to the public. So already, it's not me. It's like together we're going to be a focal point to be taking care of ourselves and knowing, like having the self-care and being in retreat while creating without doing a thing and not being alone in it, and seeing how the 1 + 1 + 1 = 9, and allowing others into that.
Well, this just makes me realize of something else that is a big change too. So if you had presented this to me a year ago, I'd be thinking money, money, money. I'd be all in my head. Mm-hmm. You didn't even need to take what you had to explain to me as far as you did, because my body was just yes, yes, yes. As soon as you said the extra 5 days of learning how to carry on your work, and become a coach, become a better coach. And I mean, I want to be there. I want to be there. I can do it.
I wasn't thinking of that. I didn't think of that. That interests you?
Yes, it does
Oh
very
my
much
goodness.
so.
Oh
This
my
is the
goodness.
year I want to go. So, I've gone out into the world in an energetic sense, but I want to start doing some more traveling, and I've always wanted to go to Israel. And I mean, now I don't really, I wasn't in my head. I was feeling my body when you were talking about all this. And I'm just like, every part of my body's like, I'm almost getting turned on because my body's like, yes, 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 go, go, go. I mean, I've always had a feeling about Israel, but I've never had any sort of concrete idea of going there.
Mhm.
But I want to go, and I want to know what the dates are, and if the dates work for me, I'll make a deposit. 15, you said 1,500?
Yeah, 1,500.
I'll do it this week. I'll do it on Wednesday. So I just need to know the dates because I have got something going on in Mexico this year too.
Well, and if you're interested in the extension,
Yes, I am interested in the extension. Yes.
okay, so if you're interested in the extension, I'm building that program now, but you're going to get a preferential amount for that as well.
Okay.
Since you're, oh my God, and you and Lauren, oh my God.
No,
Ooh.
I mean, even just that woman's place alone. What's her name? Afis? The
Uh,
woman.
Afia, Afia,
Yeah.
Afia, Afia, yeah.
No, there's something about that place. Like it's just so hard to articulate in a
I
word.
know. Well, I'm getting goosebumps. You're like twin feathers of the last time. The last retreat, I had it set up in a different way, and then I was working with with women, and then twin feathers came along, and I I, I was going to launch that journey at a conference that I was presented at, and at last minute, my friend said to me, "Are you sure you really want to do that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "I know it's kind of like short term," and my mind's go like, "Fuck you! I know what to do." And at the same time, I knew I was being, I was being given a gentle nudge. You might want to listen, like just consider this. You can do whatever you want, but maybe you want to listen. So I listened to her. She goes, "Well, it's like so clear what you're doing." She goes, "But if your legacy, if you're really meaning to like this thing that you're in service to, if it's really to enable other people to be able to take that on to whatever they're supposed to be doing, well, then maybe teach the online course, and then have the people will in there that'll bring people who would be interested, like put off the Israel thing, and then have as part of the course whoever's interested in Israel, that they're going to be doing research on the archaeoacoustic thing, because that was part I had never brought forth yet. This is, like 3 years ago. This is a brand new thing. Oh, now that interests me because I hadn't been there. I thought, well, maximum, nobody's going to be interested. I was willing to give it a try. She goes, and then with whatever you may find, then let that guide where the itinerary will be, because people will be invested. It'll bring the people the right energy of what you're wanting anyway, and then it will be further than just you.
Yeah.
That's what I did. And I presented with Marianne at this women's conference with Marianne Williamson, and Twin Feathers comes out. She goes, I came from Arizona to LA for Marianne. She goes, but I realized I think I'm here for you. And so she ended up in that online course, and she took on Mary Magdalene. And as a result of her research, like it ends up that there was this archaeological dig that it wasn't even there the last time I was in Israel. It's like in months. And so that ended up part of the itinerary because of Twin Feathers. I mean, we go to Magdalene's Well. I mean, that I always do. It's like off so we go to this place, and like the guy there, he's like glue. He was like the head of the thing. He was like glue with our little group, and he had all this stuff, and she was like, and like what we do, you'll end up with from the retreat, you'll end up with a feminine power plan for the next 12 months. But what you'll have if you're going to continue on with the extension, what I'm building is it's a business in a box, because you're going to have the marketing means too. Like you'll get a notebook with like the email threads and a template for the website, and models of how you can be using this to generate income, so that it's a business expense for you.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm very excited at this point to do. And then I'm expecting people are going to take this on in whatever directions they're going to take it. But you gals Lauren, we got Lauren on. She's like the pioneer. And it's going to be a very small group, because what I want to do with this group is, I don't feel, all right, it could be, God, I'm willing. I'm modeling this right now. If it's meant to be bigger, it could be bigger too. But what I'm seeing is that with these first, I want to know the people. I want to know what the zeitgeist is, because this is 30 years of work. And this is like the Gal'in. It's the nucleus of this group of women who are then taking it on, and each one has a special piece in it. So it'll be a very small, I see like maximum 5 people.
Oh, nice.
4 or 5 people. I mean, the whole group, the retreat is maximum 10. And I was saying before, like maybe 3 people, but now it's like, I don't know, between 2 and 5. I see. Yeah. So we're over, but I'm okay, because I've finished my morning. I don't have a meeting for another. Are you okay with time?
Sure.
Hold on. I need to share. No. We're on Zoom.
Yeah.
Last one was on telephone.
Are you still there? It looks like your microphone. Are you still there? So I'm not hearing you. It looks like your microphone has been turned off. Oh, yeah. Hi.
Wait, I'm the host now. All right, we're
Yeah.
still. Right, I don't know what happened.
It's okay.
So let's see whether I was trying to find the chat thing, and then it took me somewhere else.
Yeah. The only thing is, I do have something going on it's an hour from now at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I do. I have something in 20 minutes.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, every part of me is like, yes to Israel. So please send me the information, because
all right. So the link, what I'm trying to send you in the chat box is the link. The link is Voices. You know what? Go right now to Voices of Eden. Oh, I know what we can do. Hold on. Voicesofelenlive.com is the actual site.
You want me to go there right now?
Yeah, you can go there. Actually, I can share the link right
Okay.
now. Hold on, just got to go back to. I'm so impressed with myself. I'm so sophisticated.
I'm pretty impressed with you. What you've done me, what you've done for me, what we've done together.
You said some pretty juicy stuff in this recording. Would you allow me to use it for
Absolutely.
testimony?
Yes. Yes.
That'd be great. I could edit stuff. I could here, share. All right. I love that this new phone is like really cool. It's like it's pretty intuitive. I'm actually able to like learn things on the spot. Like when I'm in, it used to fluster me. I mean, I would do it, but it would really fluster me. All right. So hold on. All right. This is the retreat page.
Okay, and I'll find that at voicesofelenlive.com.
Voices of Eden. Yeah. So his belly.
That's the Belly of the Earth thing was the first thing I remember when I first heard about you, and I checked that out. The Belly of the Earth thing was really exciting for me.
It's so amazing. I know. I see that. It just excites me. Yeah. So we're starting in Jerusalem to retreat, self-care after arriving, and being in this just simple place and in beauty. And it's feminine energy. You know, if I didn't have to go to Jerusalem, because people, when they go to Israel, they need to go to Jerusalem, I wouldn't. It's like, but if there's any place in Jerusalem to go to, it's this place, because these people are living in solution. And because of that meditation of our group, it's like resting and just connecting with yourself and connecting with the group, and then our connecting with our voices. And then from there, we go to the lowest place on earth, to the Dead Sea, where you're going to leave behind anything here, dropping your defensive behavior and being yourself at work and play. And I'm going to leave that in the mud, in the Dead Sea, and then float. And then from there, we're going up to Galilee, which is the heart chakra of, this is the sacred oak grove at the end of my street. We're going to go there. And I mean, you can go through this on yourself. Here's twin feathers. Here's twin feathers. So twin feathers, in the end, she had this little doll. I have a picture of it somewhere. She was in the military for her whole career, and then she came out of the closet and left the military. And in her feminine power plan, no, actually even before, through that process through the program, before she decided what she wanted to do, was healing music for vets. And the week before, she had an issue with money. She had no idea how she was going to pay, but she said, I really see myself, and I really did too. So we brainstormed. I said, well, if you want to do this flute, why don't you compose a piece of music with your flute, put it online. Like, if you're going to do this, well, then do it now. Get out, let people know what your intentions are. I will support you. She did. She ended up with the money. The week that we left for Israel, like the day before she left, she got an email from the VA that they had come up with a stipend with money for her to do a test program. Then in Israel, then we went to the Magdalene thing that she had researched, and in her feminine power plan, she said her vision was she was going to have she wanted to do have a nonprofit organization, Flutes for Vets. And then she wanted to sell everything she lives in Tucson. and then travel across the states like in a VW van and bring the healing music. Well, last Thanksgiving, she put this video on my Facebook wall, and the vets are like these two guys. They're having like a Thanksgiving concert, Flutes for Vets. She did it, and she's now doing a nonprofit. And a few months ago, there she was again on my Facebook wall. Well, I'm back from my trip. She did it. She's like on fire. And then this woman.
Gives me goosebumps.
I know. This woman, the one with the glasses, that's Janice. So Janice was, her father died. Her father was the patriarch. And she lives in upstate New York, like on land. They have like land. And her kids left home with, husband, do I want to stay married or not? She goes, now I need to earn money. Because her father had money and it kind of kept the family. She goes, I need to know what my voice is now. And she became a midwife at 62 years old.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Janice, if you're going to be a midwife, you're not going to be with the millennials starting out. You're 62 years old. You're a leader already. During the time that she studied, and we continued working afterwards, she was invited to sit on the 2 North American Midwives Associations. And then she had a VIP day where she came out to LA. We did 2 VIP days. The first one was over the phone. Second one, she came out, and it was with another woman who was with the other woman, the red hair, with Susan.
Oh, yeah.
On the way to the airport, she said, when we were doing our vision, planning for next steps, she said, I suddenly, she goes, I don't know whether I ever told you this. We've been working together for a year already. She goes, I don't know whether I ever told you, but I had this vision. I always saw like my grandfather's home, that I want to turn that into a birthing center. She goes, about 15 years ago, I actually got the courage to go to the house, and I knocked on the door, and, the people answered, and I said to them, this was my grandfather's home. He built it. And if ever you would sell your home, if you would be willing to give me the first right of refusal, and that was it.
Yeah.
She left. They had no intention of selling their home. Well, she's telling me this. It's 3 p.m. I'm taking her to the airport. I get goosebumps. I said, Janice, no, you never told. It's like, that's it.
Yeah.
So she goes back. I drop her off at the airport. She goes back to New York. And the next morning, there's this email in my email box that she had forwarded to me. She goes, you would not believe it. Look at this. Her sister or cousin, I don't know, somebody had forwarded this email to her. Like the moment she got back to New York, that those people were looking for Janice, and they found her cousin or something. Wow. Saying that they were thinking of selling and wanted to offer her the first right because she had come to them 15 years before. And so then our work together, then we continued working again. I said, Janice, of course you're going to do this. And she didn't know how to go to it was like a private home. She wanted to turn it into a center. But I guided her with the work that we continued doing, just deeper. She did her research, found out that actually the hospital in that area, they're having a problem. They don't have enough room, and they're looking for alternative ways to give birth. And so she prepared. I was just there to midwife her. Yeah. Of how to approach the planning board. And now she's got the planning board on board, not just with the house. It may end up being something else. It's just taking these directions. But because of her saying yes to herself, she's ending up having solutions for the entire, bureaucratic board that doesn't know what to do. and they're helping her and coming up with the money.
Oh,
Is that amazing?
yeah, that's amazing. That's truly amazing.
You know, and now she's a midwife. And she's having the time of her life. She just loves it, loves it. So I'm going to send this to you.
Okay.
And you go through this, and here's the, well, here. Is there something that would stop you from putting your deposit right now?
Only that I have a full day here and I won't be into town until tomorrow, so I'd be able to do it tomorrow.
Is there any reason why you would run away tomorrow when you get to the?
No, the only thing I gotta find out. Yeah, no.
Well, actually, you know what I'm going to say this time? Well, yeah, I'm not going to extend it beyond tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. The only thing I have to see is if the dates work with another commitment.
Right, yeah, so it's May 14th through the 23rd, and then the extension is going to go, it's 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, so it will be through the 28th.
Okay.
So it's the 14th through the 28th.
I'm feeling like this, I feel my whole body's like saying yes to this, and if it does conflict with the other dates, I'm almost feeling like I should really get into meditation about it and see if maybe the other thing is something I should let go of, because this feels a little bit more, this feels like it's just something deeper for me.
What's the other thing?
It's a business coaching. It's part of, it's just learning how to do, like, it's a business aspect of coaching business, sort of retreat gathering.
Well, you're going to have a business in a box, and you're going to be having the help to put that together right now. So,
I have until tomorrow.
Listen to what's right for you, but
and I'm glad you put a boundary on, like, tomorrow, because I can really just digest this today and make a decision and act on it tomorrow, and I can assure you that it won't be the same fear, I don't want it, as I was doing last time. I feel it in my body. It says it's definitely yes. I mean, I wanted to go to Israel last year, but it wasn't a complete 100% yes. But this time around, it's very much a yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
you have, so because you have to do it when you go to the bank. Do you have a debit card or a credit card on you?
I have a credit card, but again, it's the same thing as last time. It's a Canadian credit card. I'd rather pay by PayPal, because then I don't get dinged with the exchange.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just go and I deposit cash into my bank account, and then I make that PayPal payment when I get home. That's what works easiest for me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. The reason I'm saying that is that what you just said here, what would stand in your way for moving forward? When you said before, what would stand in your way of moving forward? That my self-care would slip. Well, actually, this is a great opportunity for you to really trust your voice. And after having been through this trajectory and having had this breakthrough this last week.
Yeah, and it's also a leap of faith too, because, I'm getting pretty close to my savings. The money will come, I know it'll come, and there's that fear part of it, but I also know that it will come.
Well, the thing is that when you say yes, we're going to be continuing working, and I'm going to be pushing you out to offer, like, you're going to be putting a package together immediately.
Okay.
I'm going to share with you how to do that.
Okay.
I'm going to share with you basically what you would pay your 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, however much that coaching program is.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to receive that from me.
Okay.
How to, whatever they would teach you.
Mm-hmm.
the template that I'm going to give you, and you're a real self-starter.
Yeah.
What I really see is most practical that's going to generate you cash, like before you go to Israel, like really now. You
Yeah.
don't have to wait.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I want to generate it now.
But you're going to need to get online. You're going to need to be on, on Facebook or somewhere where the people you want to work with are hanging out.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel ready for that.
And it's not different. I think where you're at now, it's going to be really fun for you.
I think so too. That's what I feel. Yeah, no, I'm ready for that. And it does feel exciting and fun.
And that is going to help you bridge whatever this next thing with the land or not. You're not going to be dependent upon that. So that's for you. You'll be there. Like me with, in Amirim. I thought I was spending the rest of my life there. And
Yeah.
then when they didn't want to sell in the end, that's a whole other story I'm not going to get into, but I had a similar situation of being kicked off of my land, what I thought was my land, but it wasn't.
Right.
But it ended, where I ended up was so much better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it'll be great or better.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you want me to text you tomorrow after I've made
Yeah,
that?
yeah. So where are we today? We're on Tuesday. Yeah. So text me, let me know by 10:30. So you have 24 hours.
Okay.
All right. By
Yeah.
10:30,
I
we'll
have,
meet by 10:30. Let me see where I am.
well, it's 12:12 by my clock right
I
now.
know, but our session was at 10:30.
Oh, okay.
And hold on, I need to check what my schedule is tomorrow before where did oh, oh my God, and we're going to meet for eyeballs? Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yeah, I so want to meet you
Oh,
in person.
oh my God.
I want to hang out with you in the flesh,
Oh
like
my
totally.
God. That's what happened with Janice. They're like, we worked together almost a year. The first time we physically met was in Israel.
Yeah.
So amazing. Tomorrow.
I can do that by
Yeah, 10:30. Yeah, 10:30. Yeah. So give me a call 10:30 tomorrow.
call or text. Do you want me to text you or call you?
What's more empowering for you?
I'll call you.
Okay, call me.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I'm excited.
I just want to thank you
Yeah.
again. I really want to thank you again, Eliana. I know I just want to thank you for your work together, and I'm looking forward to doing more work with you.
Wonderful. Me too. It's an honor.
Same here.
Bye. Talk to you tomorrow.
You betcha.
Bye.
Bye.